Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the crookedest show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq, the Queen, Demetra K, and I am the 5-star general. Say, man, is it a winner in this election yet? Or are them people trying to cook the books? And once again, Clay Higgins and ran him mouth. But I'm giving checkups from the neck up home, boy. Let's go. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for tuning in, because without you guys, we would not have a show. And it's always good when you can tune in to us so we can get down to business. I think it's Free Flow Friday. But we're gonna like Jay-Z say, we're gonna talk that shit, man. That's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna start it off with sitting Congressman Clay Higgins has ran his mouth again. I don't need to say nothing. I'm gonna just show you better than I can tell you.
Listen to me, America. Donald J. Trump, President Trump, has been an anointed blessing to our nation. I realize I'm compassionate about feeling the heart of many Americans that disagree, but listen to what I'm telling you. This is a man that did not have to do what he has done. He did not have to serve as our president, commander in chief. He's living the life of a billionaire. Would you have done it? I think not. Our nation, right now, and I have inside data, this election is compromised. Our president is not compromised. I stand with him. Whether anybody likes it or not, I'm telling you right now, is it many Americans? Listen, we don't want to fight. We do not want a fight. We love our brothers and sisters. Disagree though we may, including serious disagreement. None of us want to fight, man. However, I have to tell you that this election, our president won this election. Feel my spirit. I'm telling you, our president won this election. And if any American would stand by and allow the total dissolution of our republic, then you're not an American. Man, you think I liked it when the socialist Obama won in 2008, 2012? No. But we respected that office. We respected that election. This thing here, and since 2016, the Democrats used to love President Trump. They loved him when he was writing them checks. When he was a billionaire, and he was showing up in movies, cameo appearance here, cameo appearance there. Oh, I did this party, that party. Your party wasn't complete, you Hollywood, unless Trump supported it or showed up. our president has been under incredible fire and has stood strong. And this election, man, we have serious issues now. We're going to use Article 3. We're going to follow, of course, a peaceful resolution. But America, understand that there are many, many red-blooded, solid patriots that stand with President Trump. And whether any of my Republican friends or Democratic colleagues like it or not, I stand with them all the way. Oh,
Y'all want to comment before I comment?
Wow. It sounds like somebody is butthurt. I mean, that's really what I heard through all of the stuff that he was saying. I heard somebody that was butthurt. And he threw out a lot of innuendos. We don't want to fight. That was, but we will, though, if Trump is not elected. See, that's what he was doing. He was, you know how you put the bat signal out there to your peoples? That's what he was doing. He was putting the bat signal out there. And what else did he say? Trump didn't have to do it, but he fought tooth and nail to do it. And he's fighting tooth and nail to keep doing it. And he's talking about using Article 3. I guess they want to use some judicial powers, but there's a lot of was a judge in some state, I can't remember which one it was, Pennsylvania, one of them, was like, yeah, we're not doing this with him.
Well, the thing is, in the elections, the Supreme Court, by the Constitution, is not involved in electing anything. Now, the 2000 Bush versus Gore, if you look at and you read the precedents on that, that was not to be used as case law ever. It was a one-shot deal, and that was because the Bush had a beef to preside to the Supreme Court.
Right. So he's butthurt. They see that Trump is going to lose. I mean, he just is. You're seeing a lot of the Republicans, governors, and different people saying, "Hey, dude, they tapping him on the shoulder. It's time. It's time, to get your stuff." And this guy here, as you said, he's a sitting senator. Sitting senator. He is senator. And he's talking like that. That sounds like a whole lot of good old boy, white supremacists, get a rope talk if we don't get our way. And I said, I'm telling you, when that other shoe drop, when they say that Biden is the president-elect, it's people like him that's going to be spearheading the bullshit. So have your head on swivel.
I gave y'all the first two legs of the relay. I'm going to run the ankle. And I know, Higgins, your people watch this all the time. You don't dog whistle us, partner, because your people done did what they did. Trump, Biden, that's a white boy issue, man. Let's get that straight. But since you dog whistle, I'm in your neck of the woods now, homeboy. I'm in Lafayette, Louisiana. So we on standby. The streets got something to say. Keep your motherfucking people on your side of town. Y'all can tear up and burn up everything you want to burn up. Don't bring your ass on our side of town. I'm telling you, sitting congressman. I'm looking you in your eye, sitting congressman. You bleed just like we bleed. And all these threats and these dog whistles, homeboy, we don't give a fuck about you, Trump or Biden. Because the way I see my people living, ain't none of you bastards doing nothing for us. Let's get something straight, baby. I came to your neck of the woods. I got my own set of dog whistles. But you better be careful. Because if these dogs get out the yard, they gonna bite you square in your ass.
Well, hold on. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, if you guys really look, and I don't know if you guys saw the comments. I made a few comments real quick. This is what happens when you don't go to school and you don't educate yourself. Okay? This is why the schools are failing across the nation. Okay? This has nothing to do with, oh, the people have spoken. Isn't it funny when the people have, when Trump won, oh, the people have spoken, that's democracy. But now that their person is lost, oh, it's not democracy. Oh my good, oh my God, it's over, whatever. This is what white supremacy is all about. White supremacy does not believe in democracy. White supremacy believes in being on top at all costs. Now, who runs these elections? It ain't black folks. It's their folks, predominantly. So who is he mad at? Why is he threatening his own system?
Well, he got to be threatening his own system because black folk ain't got nothing to do with that.
Exactly.
Ain't enough of us voted to affect this shit either way. So the thing is, we ain't got nothing to do with the cheating. It's your counterparts and they party that cheated. But see, I'm so sick of it right now that when there was cheating going on with the Russians, you know what I'm saying? Hillary had to take her L and go on about her business. So your man's, if he get cheated out of this here, take the L and go on about your business. But don't think that you finna intimidate us. Don't think that we finna walk on eggshells. Because sitting congressman, I will sit you on your ass. I'm in your neck of the woods, partner. Because I'm sick of you running your mouth. And you know what? You're an embarrassment to the people of Louisiana, whether they black or white. And you want to know why your man lost the election? Because you white folks didn't check that white boy in the White House. That's why you lost the fucking election. Because he ran his fucking mouth too much. If he'd have just did his fucking job, he'd have got a second term. But y'all didn't check your people. But your people ain't finna check my people. Get your motherfucking mind right, Clay Higgins. And a fight come with it, bitch.
See, and the funny thing with that is, now he's making all these threats, throwing all these threats out, right? Where are the black folks saying, bring it? Where are the black folks out there saying, bring it?
Right here.
We dare. I mean, there's a few of us out there. I'm talking about as a whole. We're always cowering down and want somebody else to do what we need to be doing. He wants to do all that. Hey, brother, we will get down in the gutter with you. At least Donovan will.
Let's do some history check on this clown, man. Clay Higgins a pussy, man. Clay Higgins is a coward, man. When the NFAC came to town, your punk ass wasn't nowhere to be found. Come on, dude. And they came peacefully. You know how they came, Clay. Ain't nobody wanted that smoke that day. But even when the motherfucker put the barbecue pit out, you didn't show up. And now you acting like you want some smoke? Then you better go sit your punk ass down somewhere. And the people in Louisiana that's scared to tell him, you got a motherfucker from Texas, born and raised. I say sit your cracker ass down because ain't nobody scared of you, partner.
But see, notice how he brought up Obama. Why didn't he bring up Clinton, Jimmy Carter, or any other Democratic president? Why you got to bring up the black one? See, the details is in what he did not say. So basically what he said is when we elected that nigger, we didn't turn up. We just, did, which he's lying. They did, to try to stop Obama. Once they got in control, they did try to do that. And I don't know how long Clay Higgins has been in Congress or whatever, but he's a flat out liar. But notice what he did not say. And is that when we gave y'all that nigga president, it was whatever. But now y'all trying to cheat this good man of God. You got that dumbass Paula White up there praying, talking about we praying that the election results. Y'all know Paula White, that big time evangelical, woman who's a big time Trump supporter. She's got this nonstop prayer chain going on to pray that this election swings Trump's way and stuff. And so he has put it out there that he's making the difference, that this is a black and a white thing. Now y'all messing with our grand wizard, our white president, our beloved president. And to your point, Gary, if they would have checked him, see, because now a lot of these Republicans are starting to check him, but it's a day too late. They let him off the chain and let him off the chain often until he is in this situation. And now everybody's all upset, talking about he's being cheated, but they never said anything. They co-signed all of the stuff he did when he talked about people like a dog. And when he did all the stuff he was doing, they was right behind him 100%. And now, see that what that says to people like Clay Higgins is now we got to act right, because we don't have somebody in the White House, talking about do what you want to do to people. I'm going to pay for your lawyers and all of that. Now they got somebody who will check them, hopefully. So they don't have that grand wizard as a leader anymore, per se.
Yeah, and isn't it funny? All of these white supremacist congressmen and senators, they're talking their shit after they won their election. See, so they got another 6 years. They got another 2 years. So now they're separating themselves from Donald Trump, acting like, well, I kind of spoke up at the end, even though I let him do, look at their records. You'll find that most of those congressmen voted with Donald Trump 93% of the time. 93% of the time. And y'all gonna give him a pass. Oh, he's a good guy. Look at Mark Rubio. He said something against Trump. Look at his voting record. He voted with Trump the whole damn time. And this goes to show you why education is so important. He said that Donald Trump is a billionaire and didn't have to do this. Yes, he did. Donald Trump needed the money. And right now, he still needs the money. That's why he's fighting tooth and nail to stay in office, because he personally guaranteed $300 million in loans. And just like the DA in New York has said, Attorney General in New York has said, he doesn't have immunity now. Once he gets out of office, they are going for him. But I'm going to say this as a caveat. All you people that voted for Biden and stuff like that, watch how Biden will pardon him. Right now, they are probably talking to Trump right now to concede or, face the consequences or concede for the better of the country, and we won't prosecute you. I guarantee you that's one of the deals.
And you know what? As you say that, I thought about that today. That's the only deal being cut right now. Say, man, don't embarrass us. Don't cut up. We're gonna give you immunity. We're gonna let you make it. But my issue is that every time one of you motherfuckers get your panties in a rough, you get your little panties ruffled, you get to shooting these slugs at black people like we some punks or something, man. Come on, dog. It's a couple of pits over here, bro. Ain't nobody putting up with it, man. Say on the real, I could be the black Republican all day. But what I'm going to say, look here, homeboy, you ain't got to leave, but you can get the fuck up out of here. That's all it boiled down to. If you lose, get your shit and go, man. Get your U-Haul, go grab your wife by the pussy and go on and get the fuck up out the White House, man. Your shit is over, bro. You done ran your course. You done did what you did, but I'm telling you, it's your mouth, homeboy. Some of the things the man say he right on the money, but then you got to put that spin on it. You got to put that Trump spin on it. And then after a while, the shit gets old, bro. To an intelligent person, it gets old, bro. So now you ain't going out without a fight. I get that, but there's a way you have to fight. Go fight in the court of law. You use the judicial system and see if that works for you. But all this other shit you throwing out there, Clay, man, Clay Higgins, fuck you, dog. On the real, man. You might be the king of this motherfucking cage and shit around here, but this one black man you don't skip. Period. And get what? My dog whistle is strictly for the hood. I got a dog whistle, Clay. Better get your motherfucking mind right. You and any of your little political friends with that bullshit. Matter of fact, won't a bunch of y'all, the last time a bunch of Negroes went to Washington, we went in peace. That's when Al Sharpton them went. Won't a bunch of y'all get some Ubers and go down and help your man pack his shit, man? And then when they pack his shit, even though I'm not an Obama fan, Joe, soon as you get in, your first order of business, put that man motherfucking picture in the White House like it's supposed to be. I'm not a Joe Biden fan. Let's get that straight. But it's certain things you're supposed to do as a president. And if you lose an election, you're supposed to walk out with grace. But you don't have that. And your people think this ain't fucking 1960, dude. We ain't our ancestors. And by the way you kill a snake, you cut the head off. They tried to cut the fucking head off one of your Proud Boys the other night. Wasn't he the president of it? Ain't nobody playing with y'all, man. Ain't nobody taking no chances, bro. Clay Higgins, go sit your drunk ass down somewhere. You really need to go to rehab, dude.
And like you said, too, now that was really some bullshit, that he didn't put Obama's picture up, regardless of how you felt about him or whatever the case is. So you're not going to put his picture up? Why? Because he's black? Because you felt like he, was an illegitimate president? Like, what was your deal, dude? So it was that kind of stuff right there. And even up to some of his last campaign speeches, he kept on with the bullshit, including, this voter fraud stuff, which sounds like is what really came back to bite him in the ass. He kept telling the people, don't mail your ballot in. It's fraud. Have your people, everybody go to the polls. And it sounds like those ballots, those mail-in ballots is what's whooping his ass. And so, that's what happens a lot of times, with leadership and people in power. They surround themselves with too many yes people. And those people are afraid to put them in check and say, you know what, while that's probably a good idea in your head, that ain't going to wash with everybody else. There's certain things you got to do and you can't do. But Trump went unchecked pretty much his whole, presidential career. He went unchecked by his wife. He went unchecked by his cabinet. He went unchecked by, the senators and, people in the house. Everybody just let him do. I mean, even like this COVID thing. And look how he did Dr. Fauci. He was talking about firing him up in like a week ago. Like, dude, get it up. Because people like Dr. Fauci. Because Dr. Fauci is trying to keep people safe. But even up until like a week ago, he was talking about firing a man because he's doing his job and saying, hey, this COVID is going to come back with a vengeance. And so far, everything that Dr. Fauci has said, for the most part, has been spot on. And so Republicans and Democrats and everybody else in between are victims of this COVID, but yet he's running around talking about he's Superman. So, and they let him do it.
Well, I tell you this here, he didn't put that picture up for a lot of reasons. Whether I liked Obama or not, you didn't put that picture up because that man was graceful. You didn't put that picture up because that man was respectful. You didn't put that picture up because his wife wasn't a former hoe. You didn't put that picture up because his kids wasn't involved in scandals, drunk all around the U.S. You didn't put that picture up because his kids wasn't in a hotel room with a crack pipe hanging out their mouth. It's a lot of reasons you didn't put that man picture up, man. So, Joe, when you go in, before you get the fucking up, can you put Obama's picture in the White House where it rightfully is supposed to be? That is what I feel. And I don't care what anybody thinks about me. It's just, I'm going to tell you something. I love my people. Some of us ain't right, but I love my people. But you folk that sit in these quote unquote positions of power that think you could just threaten us and what you think, we can't read between the lines, Clay? That's why I called you a cracker in your face. I ain't got no other word for you, homeboy. When you made the Obama comment, you talking about that nigga. That's what you was doing. So, Clay Higgins, you a joke. You been a joke. Ever since you was the sheriff of St. Landry Parish. Ever since you stole that money from your own foundation. Ever since you couldn't pay your fucking child support. You've been a joke, dude. And you're going to continue to be a joke. And by the way, I am in Lafayette. But I want you to know something, Clay. I don't have no dope in my car. All my tags are up to date. Everything is legal about me. So if you stop me, have your friends to stop me with that foolishness. I don't play games, bro.
Yeah, you know, if you guys ever run for election and you look at these, if you look at this election and you go to 2016 and you flip it, the numbers are exactly the same. So if you ever run for office and your election is this close, okay, what good politicians do, you can't rely on that very same base. And just like Jerry just said, he pissed off a lot of people, right? So if you don't grow your foundation or your base, you're not going to win re-election. And that's exactly what happened to idiot Trump. He did not move to the center. He didn't do anything for other than his base. And that's why dudes like this are butthurt, because they lost. Now you lost. Now you can't go out there and act an ass. How many of you guys looked around in the last couple of days and haven't seen any Trumpsters saying anything? I haven't seen any trucks. I haven't seen any flags. It's just, you know, it's just, well, y'all in the South, so yeah, so y'all in the South. But out here, you know, we don't see it because California, you know, we kick ass first, and you know, worry about that shit later. But that's how you're supposed to run your campaign. You know, cut all the way through. Demetra?
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, my neighbors, they have bumper stickers on their cars that says Asians for Trump. So I haven't seen them. Maybe they with Clay Higgins crying somewhere and, you know, figuring out how to mount up the militia to, you know, get some. I don't know, you know, but it's just it's sad. But, you know, I guess I understand kind of where Clay is coming from, because for Trump was their last great stand at cementing white supremacy, because he said all the things that they was wanting to say, and he made it okay for them to get out there and, you know, be unapologetically racist. And now that's going away. I mean, you know, he's not going to be president anymore, but this is the thing that Trump has to realize too. Look at all those bridges you burnt while you was up in there acting salty and stuff up in the White House. Now what you gonna do? You done burnt all those relationships and friendships you had because you was up in there getting high on your own supply in the White House.
And realistically, you said it earlier, he's not fighting because he got cheated. He's trying to stay so he don't go to jail. He's going to jail. And that's all it boils down to. So if you want a dog whistle and he go to jail, man, go, y'all good at burning down police stations. That's what y'all been doing for the last 6 months. Go over there and deal with your people. But do us a favor when you go over there. Look for the child support office and burn that one down at the same time. Because that's the one that's messing us up. But any issues that you got with this whole process, this is not a black issue, brother. It's not a black issue. Take that shit out on your people, man. Stop pulling us into your foolishness, bro. But somebody needs to address it. So here's my thing. A lot of y'all went to bat. Say y'all was down ballot and y'all went to bat for some of your sucker politicians. Y'all supposed to be on the phone, in the emails. Why y'all ain't checking this man? He's a congressman. He's a sitting U.S. congressman. You need to be on the phone, in the emails. Pelosi needs to do something with him.
Oh, wait. You mean Nancy Pelosi has not censored or checked this man in her group? Is, you know, I mean, but we all voted Democrat. Demetra, what was the number? 80% black men voted and 93% black women, the backbone of the Democratic Party. Nancy Pelosi isn't checking this man?
No, she didn't check him the first time either, did she?
And I'll answer John Lowe. General, you been drinking? I ain't been drinking nothing. I'm high off this backness. And when somebody threatened my people, we got a problem, bro. We got a problem with that, man. You know, goddamn, we've been taking ass whoopings for 400 years. We ain't gonna take nothing behind y'all bullshit with that bullshit, man. Go deal with your folk on Trump, man. Matter of fact, like I said, man, the man about to get the eviction notice, man. And when he get the eviction notice, can you go on and you get your shit and go, bro? Go on and get your shit and go. That's what y'all told Hillary. So what makes you different? Motherfucker really tired of dealing with this, bro. We got other shit to do. It's already flu season. On top of a fucking pandemic. People ain't got no motherfucking money. And now we got to deal with these drunk motherfuckers. Somebody gonna make it. And the one that's gonna get their ass kicked normally is the drunk one.
Well, where's the CBC? The CBC hasn't said anything. You know, the congressional black talkers that's supposed to be looking out for us, they should be down there kicking ass, because I believe 3 to 4 or 5 members of the CBC is in the Louisiana congregation.
Man, them people don't know what they doing down here, man. Motherfucker down here, they dying and making hog cracklings out of them.
Well, really, again, you know, I'm trying to listen. I told you guys I'm going to change my name to Dr. Loomis. Dr. Loomis was Michael Myers' doctor. And so, you know, I'll be diagnosing crazy people sometimes. And, you know, Clay Higgins, like a lot of white supremacists, he has no coping skills. Because if you have coping skills, you say, you know what, it sucks that my guy has got to leave the White House and all of that. But you know what? I'm going to lick my wounds, and, you know, hopefully if Trump can get his shit together in 4 years, he can come back. But they have no coping skills because they're not used to not getting their way. Look at all the horrors they've exacted upon people, especially black people, you know, since we've been in America. They're not used to people telling them no. They're not used to not getting what they want, even if it's to rob, steal, kill, rape, whatever they got to do. They are treacherous people. And this example is no different. He's, you know, and just the fact that he is a congressman and he's getting on video saying these not so blatant things, but we got the point. He can't even control himself, just like a spoiled, rotten child that can't, you know, understand why he can't get his way. So he's going to get on there and make these, you know, low-key kind of threats, and why can't I, and cheating, and all that other stuff. So they just have no coping skills. And most killers, most people who do dangerous stuff, it will start with them not having coping skills and not being able to get their way. And so they forced it.
Real quick, Demetri, I got a real quick question for you. Higgins is a Democrat. Am I correct?
How?
No, but he's a Democrat, right? Oh, he's a Republican. Okay. White privilege, once again, because again, these people talk about how they believe in democracy and they keep telling you to vote. Okay, here's the funny thing. Vote. Just go out there and vote. Vote. Vote like your life depends on it. These people do not believe in democracy. They're showing you that right now. Symbolism. They're giving you symbolism why they don't believe in the shit. 5-star?
I wanna roll over to Stacey Abrams since it's free flow. Kendrick Owens says Stacey Abrams can write her own ticket.
And wait, before we get in that, I just want to, you know, make this last point. The other part about it with Clay Higgins is he's mad because black people won. Okay. And I say that loosely in quotation, that black people won, because we're hearing all this. Oh, it was the black people. Oh, black people put the, you know, Joe Biden and them in the White House. Oh, thank you to black people. It wasn't for black people. So he's really mad at black people. He's turned this into a black and white thing. For one, him mentioning Obama, the only black president, and the fact that, you know, black people put Joe Biden where he is. So I just want to put that out there.
I agree with you. Kendrick says Stacey Abrams can write her own ticket. First of all, Joe would have gotten my vote if he'd put Abrams on the ticket. I was a Stacey. I mean, I could rock with Stacey Abrams, but the way that he did her in that public interview where he embarrassed her, and she still got out there and did what she needed to do. I agree. She should be able to write her own ticket. That's not gonna happen. I do expect her somewhere to be put on his cabinet. I think that's how he's going to return the favor. He's going to put her somewhere on his cabinet. Now, that's the thing I'm looking at next. You know, he gets in there. What this cabinet going to look like? You see what I'm saying? Because it's going to be some, you going to see.
Well, you know, notice that whenever a new administration is about to come in, the same old people from the previous administration come crawling back. You're going to see your girl, what's that black girl? Not Condoleezza Rice, but the other Rice. She's going to come back into the cabinet.
Well, you're right about that, because you remember when Daddy Bush was in office and then Baby Bush ended up in office. If you go and look at Baby Bush's cabinet, it was all Daddy Bush's people, just in different places. In Daddy Bush's cabinet, Daddy Bush cabinet, Colin Powell was a Joint Chief. In Baby Bush's cabinet, he was the Secretary of State. So all they're gonna do is just put them back in and put them in different spots. But the thing is, the gangster done already spoke. O'Connell done already say ain't nothing getting passed. So here we go with Obama shit again.
Right. So for all of you guys that voted a Democrat and McConnell is going to lock everything down, that means any legislative thing that is coming out of this Biden administration has to be done by executive order. So with executive order, we can get universal health care. With executive order, we can get things done for Black people, specifically for the 80-something% of our loyalty. But if we don't get nothing after these 4 years, you people that put this administration and didn't demand anything, I don't want to hear from you guys complaining, about whatever. It's just going to be sad. Kamala ain't going to be running nothing. I'm sorry. That ain't going to happen.
I said, Mitch O'Connell is the gangster. And ain't nothing, the man had already said it in the last 48 hours. Ain't nothing getting passed. Nothing. He can do them executive orders if he can get away with all that. Do an executive order and get rid of all the child support buildings. Free my brothers, man, from that payment right there. But he's not gonna get nothing done. Hopefully he don't die. He look sickly.
The sad part is, when Joe and Kamala get into the White House, everybody's excited now. A lot of people. I'm indifferent. It doesn't matter to me. But a lot of people are excited. The sad part is when y'all see that y'all was excited for nothing, especially as Black people, that's when y'all gonna be, well, what about us? What about you? You didn't demand that Joe and Kamala do nothing for you. I mean, even to the tune of trying to ripping apart Ice Cube, who has been doing for Black people, since the days of NWA. You tore him a whole new one. And, because he was trying to help Black people. So what you said to Joe and Kamala is, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he do. We didn't ask him to speak for us, because I've seen people on Twitter say that, the Black women, who asked Ice Cube to speak for us. We didn't tell him to go. Marsha Warfield, you guys remember her from Night Court? She was one of them on Twitter. Who asked him to speak for us and this, that, and the other. So what you did was you low-key dog whistled to Kamala and Joe. Well, you ain't got to do nothing for us. Don't listen to that Negro. We didn't tell him to speak for us. And so they're going to go into the White House and not do nothing. And then you're going to be upset because you didn't get anything. Well, you're going to watch everybody get something but you. So,
one appointment I'm looking forward to, because you can really get some things done. Now, Trump, you got to pack your shit. Once you pack your shit, go tell Milana, go get her ham sandwich, sit her little ass down somewhere. Go down there to Bessie DeVos's office. Secretary of Education. And tell her, hurry up and pack her shit too. because you out of a job too. I can't wait to see who they gonna put over education, because that's the one component they can get around O'Connell's ass on. They can fix some shit with that. Ain't no excuses there. But let's see what happens. See, these cabinet positions, they gonna be key, man. Trump just went got some motherfuckers off the corner and put them on the cabinet. Ain't have no expertise in nothing but fucking up. But now, Joe, you're gonna have to own up to some of this shit, man. I mean, I want to see who he puts over education. I'm being honest with y'all. Because education, from this pandemic, we figured out throughout the world that the United States is so fucking far behind in educating all of our children, black, white, whatever, that it is ridiculous.
Hey, our good friend Kendrick Owen says executive orders is not legislation. You're absolutely right. But here's how you use executive orders. Since Mitch McConnell said that everything is dead on arrival, and he's bragging that he is the Grim Reaper. He's bragging about that. Legislation goes to his desk and it dies. His job, according to the Constitution, is to legislate. Okay, he's not doing that. I'm the executive. I'm going to do a whole bunch of executive orders and let them get mad and get pissed off and sue me, right? As the president. Then I will go to the Supreme Court and say, look, I'm doing my job. One man is stopping the American people's work from getting done. Then the Supreme Court, a Republican Supreme Court, has to rule, well, what are we going to do? He doesn't want one man is upholding legislation. And every time somebody uses that thing, it's not executive orders, or Obama's hands were tied, whatever. How the hell do you explain DACA? How do you explain Dreamers, which is going to the Supreme Court right now to see if it's lawful? I mean, if you got to take them to court, you got to take them to court. But you're the executive, and your job, when the Congress doesn't want to do their job, right? Because the three equal branches of government is take it to the Supreme Court. You don't like what I'm doing as president? Sue me. And then we'll let the Supreme Court decide. But one man, by the Constitution, cannot hold up the people's work.
Well, that one man did it for 8 years with Obama. And that one man is plotting on doing it again. And dog, we just got to get the country moving, man. This can't keep going on. You know, I don't wish death on anybody, you know, but Mitch, you need to go somewhere, dog, because some days you really be on some dumb shit, man. You know, and I'm just, some of the things that they doing, it just doesn't make sense to say that we live in the United States of America and have to deal with some of the foolishness. Now, Kendrick says executives' orders are not legislation. That is true. The people you have to depend on is the motherfuckers we just put back in office to deal with legislation that ain't did nothing. I remember you sent me an email the other night with all the bills from Sheila Jackson Lee, like he said. Kendrick, can you tell these people how many of them bills still in committee? How many did she get passed? I read the whole email. So the people that got to deal with legislation are the same motherfuckers that ain't been doing shit the whole time they've been in there.
Demetra? Oh, well.
Go ahead.
Well, no, like I said, you got to take it to the Supreme Court, because what we're looking at right now is another 4 years of nothing getting done. Now, what did Biden say? He didn't promise black folks nothing. So Demetra's absolutely right, where he could go in there and say, well, I didn't promise you Negroes nothing. What are you expecting from me? I am the status quo candidate. He's going to go in there and pardon Trump for his crimes so that it's for the betterment of the country, which is going to cost him the re-election. He's going to do DACA, Dreamers, LGBTQ, and all that other stuff. So we know all this stuff is going to get done. But fundamentally,
one thing that he promised, and we should hold him to it, he promised to get rid of student loan debt.
True.
He promised to get rid of student loan debt. Joe, it's a whole bunch of kids, and Gary Monroe need to get rid of that debt. Handle that business, bro.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But see, what he's going to do is, even if he wanted to do something, he's going to use the Mitch McConnell situation. I couldn't pass any legislation through. It's not my fault. You can do it by executive order. You can bypass it by executive order. And that's the bottom. When people say, well, his hands were tied, that's no excuse. Executive order, let the Republicans sue him
I was just looking because I thought that executive orders were a form of legislation, and it is.
All three parts of government are equal. The only two legislation is the executive, and the Supreme Court decides what the law is and if it's feasible. So all he's got to do is, Trump has shown you what the executive can do. He can basically do anything he wants if he has the political will and the Congress, some of the Congress members behind him, period.
Right. So it is a form of legislation. The Congress ultimately, they create and pass bills, and then Trump's or the president rather will sign them into law. But he does have the ability to say, okay, well, you guys won't do it, or I don't like it, or I want something done. He can force his pen.
Right. Now,
it does become a form of legislation.
Right. But how do you check that legislation? Congress has the ultimate
right.
veto.
I didn't say they didn't. I'm just saying that it's to stand corrected that it is a form of legislation. I didn't say Congress didn't. Congress ultimately has the power, and they're the only ones that.
No, I know. I agree with you. What I'm saying is,
I know. Let me finish. They can. Congress has the ultimate power to change and amend the Constitution and all of that. But I just wanted to put it out there that it is a form of legislation.
Right. But
he may be signing in what?
Right. But the ultimate thing to stop executive orders is you don't fund it. That's Congress's power over the executive. So if I'm the executive and I say I want to make an executive order for reparations, okay, I can write it and it is a form of law. However, if the Congress doesn't fund it, it's symbolism.
Right, but the issue is, the question was it a form of legislation? And the answer is yes, regardless of if they fund it, if it was ruled unconstitutional, by the Supreme Court and all that. It's still considered a form of legislation, from what I understand.
One thing that Joe's going to do, and he's going to do it very quickly, is he's going to give more funding to the police. He's going to make sure that they have everything that they need to keep doing what they're doing. These people that have used Breonna Taylor, George Floyd as a means of being a campaign tool for the last 6 months, you're going to find out that these people are going to be forgotten about. There is not going to be no criminal justice reform on the national level. That's legislation that's done on the state level. So, you need to be talking to your state reps as we speak, because I've spoken to quite a few of them, and with what we have on the table in the state of Texas, they feel it's dead on arrival. They don't feel like it's gonna get out, out that, it ain't gonna even make it to the floor. You see what I'm saying? So if you're looking for all these things that this man promised, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So I want the narrative to be spent, and Demetri and Donovan, you make sure you remember, because this is what's going to be said. He couldn't do it all in 4 years. He needs 4 more. But remember, you expected Trump to get it done in 4. So Joe, you on the fucking clock, homeboy. Get it done, man. All these promises you made, it would be great if these kids didn't have student loan debt. It really would be great if we could do something with criminal justice reform, because it needs to be done. How in the fuck can you go to Mississippi and smoke weed and go to the penitentiary, but you can smoke weed on the corner in Colorado all day? Ain't they both in the United States of America? Come on, man. It's just some things that don't even make sense. Demetri?
Yeah, and I wanted to go back to your point about Betsy DeVos. You know, she's the Secretary of Education. She has absolutely and didn't have any experience at all. She's some heiress to some big time, I forget what it is, but she's an heiress and probably was a good friend of Trump's, and he probably promised her, yeah, I'll put you in some. And she's been, excuse my French, fucking up education ever since she's been in there, just making decisions from an elitist standpoint of, well, we're going to do this and they don't need, I mean, she's messed up student loan dynamics and just a whole host of things like, well, they don't need that kind of thing. But of course, she's an heiress of a billionaire. So she never had any of these problems that she's, you know, making decisions over. But yeah, she needs to go. William Barr needs to go. Like they all need to go. They're just his friends, his homies in there, you know, making a decision for the 99% from a 1% point of view. And yeah, I've always said I'm not a fan of Trump, never have been a fan of Trump. If you go back at Donovan and I's, see, I'm trying to be grammatically correct. Donovan and I's old stuff, we rake Trump over the coals all the time. But you know, I think he needs to go, and I think his whole administration needs to go. It's been rough for a lot of people. Now, did he do some good things here and there? Yeah, I guess you could say he did, but it doesn't outweigh the things that he and his cabinet have done to people. So,
well, I tell you what, they got partners on the state level. The man that runs the Texas Education Agency, Mike Morath, was a school board member on the Dallas ISD school board. But now you run education in the state of Texas. One, he's never been a teacher. Two, he's never been a principal. Three, he's never worked in a school district office. Nothing. His second in command, AJ Crable, he used to sell what's this computer software. And now y'all run the education department of the state of Texas. They got friends on every level that don't know jack shit. How do you get to run education in the state of Texas and your fucker ass ain't never been a substitute teacher? Nothing. And we can't figure out why the United States of America is messed up. Man, you don't hire all your homies, Trump. You messed up on that one. That's something I didn't agree with from day one. So, you know, gonna be good to see Uncle Ben Carson pack his shit. Don't come back to the hood. Because you ain't got no black card, homeboy. And your homegirl, Omarosa, is over. We ain't fucking with you either. Go hang out with your peoples. And we don't feel sorry for none of y'all right now. Say, man, you lost. Let it go, big homie. Come on up out of there before they have to get the constables to remove you. You know when you don't come out the house when they evicting you, they come in and throw your shit on the curb. Don't make them people throw your shit outside, man.
Moving forward, Demetri K., since we got this new administration coming in and everybody was saying, you know what, vote for Biden. We're going to hold him accountable once he gets in office. Now he's there. Could you please explain to the audience how we are going to hold this SOB accountable?
y'all hear those crickets? They're not. And you know what? It's not that they're not going to. They don't want to. They got what they wanted, and that was to have Biden in the White House and Trump gone. That was it. That was all. But I have a bigger conundrum. Y'all ready for this? Whatever will Diamond, Silk, Candace, Jesse, Lee Peterson, and all those other blowhards, what are they going to do now? Okay, hear you.
I think Roland might end up being press secretary.
That's what he's shooting for. That's what he was shooting for.
He done dipped enough biscuits in the butter. I think they should at least him do something. It's something.
They're not going to hold him accountable. And we're going to suffer for it. And then, of course, when the elections come up again, people are going to want us to suffer 4 more years. You will see when he passes DACA and the Dreamers. Yeah. You the most important vote, but you ain't even on the motherfucking plate. And we ain't getting nothing out the deal. Nothing. That's the sad part.
The butter biscuits will surely dry up. They will dry up if they haven't already. The butter biscuit truck is probably pulling away from the campaign site as we speak. It said our job is done here. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, it's really sad and unfortunate that Black people do have a lot of power. We just wield it in the wrong direction. Imagine if we use that power to actually get something with it. You know, we'd be a lot further along, but we just continue to band together for nothingness. And it's unfortunate. So, you know, I don't know. As soon as this country open up, I might be looking at a staycation somewhere.
Well, I think Silk and Diamond are going to change their name mysteriously. They're going to change their name. They won't be Silk and Diamond anymore. They'll be Wood and Copper.
Girl Kiki says Silk is now polyester and Diamond is cubic zirconia. Yeah, that's what's going. Everybody wants to get paid. Okay, everybody wants to. You're going to have some of these folks, just like Trump, son said, they're going to open up their own network so they can continue to talk. Because Trump ain't going to disappear. These people are. They're still going to be around, and they'll be back in 4 years. You know what I mean? Not maybe the Trump people per se, because Trumpism is here to stay.
Hey, I think he's going to try to run in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to try to do it again. Because he can get 4 more out the deal.
And for that whole 4 years that Joe Biden and Kamala's in office, he going to do the same thing he did to Obama. You just keep up a bunch of bullshit, get everybody excited again. And because he's just his ego will not allow him to just go away quietly, go off into the orange set, you know, because he's orange. It won't allow him to do that. He's got to come back. He's going to start campaigning the minute they move all his gold shit up out the White House. Watch.
Going to jail.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Can you be a felon?
If he fights this, he's going to go to jail. If he walks out and just transitions out, they're going to pardon him.
You know why I don't think he's even going to go that far. I think, like Donovan said, they're cutting the deal with him right now. Listen, get your shit and go, man. Get your shit and go while you have a clean slate. Otherwise, we're going to put that big felony on your ass. I told the same thing, not necessarily the same exact thing, but with Hillary, Obama said, hey, I'll wipe your debt clean. I'll go away. And they did. Her campaign was in debt. So they make those type of deals, but it would not surprise me. They say, hey, man, go away. Go quietly. You and Melania and whoever, the pool boy, you take him with you. Y'all go away, and then, you know, we want. Come on now, y'all know Melania got a pool boy.
Yeah, you know what? You guys bring up a good point, because if you think about it, the election is over. I called it earlier, whatever it is. Do you know why they haven't said anything? Because they don't know how to break it to the Trumpsters and, you know, everybody out there. They don't want to, you know, they're trying to find a way to say it without getting these people more upset than they already are, seeing the writing on the wall. This thing is called. When he got Pennsylvania, it is done. They're just taking their time.
Yeah, but the question is why? And I think that is because they know it's gonna blow. But see, here's the thing. You remember I kept telling y'all that the cover for the black kids out there when they was out burning up and looting was the white kids. They didn't drop napalm on the black kids because they had to knock off some of them white kids. But in this fight, this all white folk. This all white folk, man. They'd have to do their own people while we sit back and stand by. Say that's a tough pill to swallow, man. But y'all gonna have, I'm cool with them. Look, y'all already say we don't own no property. We don't own nothing in the hood anyway. So don't come down to our neighborhood with that foolishness. I'm just trying to let y'all know, because we don't ride skateboards. We don't have bike lanes. None of that is going on in the ghetto. So if you get caught down there after night, after it gets dark, you might get your head split open. And we're not going to snitch on each other.
And you know what though? Who needs it? They not gonna go to the ghetto. You know what they gonna do? All those Negroes living in suburbia talking about, oh, that's my neighbor. Hi, Jen. Hi, how you doing there? Oh, isn't such a lovely. Those are the Negroes that's gonna be getting out their car and somebody gonna hop out of a bush on their ass. Those are the ones that need to
terrorize them. They're gonna terrorize them, Demetri.
Oh, for
sure. I didn't know Becky was like that. And I'm gonna be driving by. I told you about that motherfucker 6 months ago, man. Mr. Monroe, I ain't got no room. And I'm gone.
Absolutely. What's her name said? I'm sorry. Did they take Pennsylvania? Carol Andrus says, did he take Pennsylvania? I'm a political pundit. I say that Joe Biden is going to have 303 minimum electoral votes, which in Trump's mind, who got 306 in 2016, it's a landslide, the biggest landslide ever. So that means Joe Biden got a big landslide. No, if you look at Pennsylvania, the only areas remaining are Democratic strongholds. So why haven't they called it? It's over. It is over. Period.
They called it because they know the white folk is finna go off and they're gonna have to kill a bunch of them. Let's just be real about it. They ain't saying nothing because they know these white folk is finna go off and they're gonna have to kill a bunch of them. It's finna be white on white crime. And that's not right. Can't we all just get along?
But why you bullshit? That's exactly what it is. They fist to turn up. And to your point, they want to figure out the best way to do it. But if it had been some Negroes about to turn up, they'd have the National Guard on standby, water hose, dogs, AKs, snipers, and gas, tear gas, everything would have been on deck like we wish y'all would. But to your point, they want to, do this peaceably and make sure they're okay with it. They probably gonna send Dr. Phil out there on the front line and give them some therapy and all of that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. But the other thing is,
can you imagine the conversation on the block? Just us sitting on the block, we playing dominoes, me, Demetri, and Donovan. I just hit your ass for 30. And here come old Bobby from around the corner. Lay on the fuck over, Trump. I'm finna burn this bitch down. You better go sit your fucking ass down somewhere. I'm gonna burn this bitch down and I'm gonna drink me a Bud Light as soon as I get through. I'm gonna tell you what finna happen to your homeboy. If you say that shit one more time, you're gonna be singing the remix to The Thrill Is Gone, and it's gonna be called The Grill Is Gone. Get your ass around here.
Hey, but you know what, real quick, like my mom used to always say, I'm telling y'all black people, not our monkey, not our show. This ain't got nothing to do with us. Let them do their thing and get out and fight amongst each other. But this ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yes, but this proves my point.
Some of us gonna stick our nose in it. Some of us gonna stick our nose in it. I'm gonna man, that's my little white partner from working at the warehouse, man. Man, you and your partner go out there, man, and deal with them people, man. But I'm telling y'all, that's why they won't announce it, because they know them good white folk, they ready to tear up some shit. And they gonna have to deal with their own people.
Yep. Y'all remember y'all remember all pro linebacker Simone Sanders? Y'all remember her? How she tackled that dude that was coming up on the stage? That's what I'm telling you. That's what's going to be happening. But this goes to prove to you guys, real quick, this goes to prove to you guys, white people in this country are 50-50. So that means we control who is going to be president. And to give that power up and ask for absolutely nothing in the deal, That is ludicrous to me. It just doesn't make any sense.
Let me break it down to them, those that don't understand. Abe Lincoln freed the slaves, right? And the conversation after he had it, I can't believe this motherfucker done freed all my free labor. We got to do something about this shit. And that's where they at right now. I can't believe these motherfuckers done treated Trump out this fucking election. We ain't gonna be able to say what we want anymore. They're gonna be trying to check us left and right. We've got to stand up. We're patriots. You gonna be the patriot with a hole in your fucking head playing out here in these streets. Do that shit in your neighborhood. Y'all tell up them suburbs all you want. It would be nice if your hood looked like ours for a change. Go burn up y'all shit, man. Don't come down here.
They ain't gonna do none of that. They just gonna do a lot of loud whispering back and forth. You know what? I just don't understand it. How could you do this to us? They're not gonna.
No. What's gonna happen is they're gonna go to Starbucks and say, "Yes, give me a double stock." Right. And just get mad and have another cinnamon donut.
Right.
I wonder how it feel to be the butt of the white joke right now. How it feel? You notice how long we've been dealing with that? Now look at your peoples, man. Y'all need some fucking counseling right now or something. Something is not right. Y'all need some counseling. You know, get you some Xanaxes or something. Go chill the fuck out, man. Go find. Matter of fact, take a trip to Colorado and go get you some good weed. Get high. By the time you finna getting high, Trump and Melania be gone. Let it go, bro. Final thoughts, Ms. Demetra.
My final thoughts are Trump and Melania gonna be gone if she stays with him. I think she will stand with him just to put up a front. But I think once she probably was one of the ones that was helping if there was some cheating going on. She was probably casting 2 and 3 ballots in every state, hoping this election that he wouldn't get back in the White House so she can go on by her merry way. But if they do stay together, you think Trump and Melania ain't gonna be sitting back talking about we're still in this together, we're gonna fight this thing all the way? Nah, they're gonna be on a damn island somewhere, drinking mimosas.
Epstein Island.
Yeah, Epstein Island, right? And they ain't gonna look back. So, like you said, get over it.
Absolutely. Like I said, the election's over. They just haven't announced it yet. They don't know how to say it. A lot of white folks are going to be hurt. But at the end of the day, this is what I'm going to say. And here's my prediction. This is just my prediction. 4 years of Biden, nothing will be done substantially for Black people. I'm standing on that like a rock. I hope I'm proven wrong. Honestly, I do. But he didn't promise us nothing. He didn't have to, because he knows we're going to give our vote and don't get nothing for it. So after this, I hope that you guys that were get him out of office. He's out of office now. And when you ain't getting shit and your taxes go up and all that other shit that, he's already said, I got to I got to bring back the middle class. There hasn't been a middle class since 2007, 2008. There's only the have and the have nots. That's a dog whistle for I got to get my white people together, the middle class white people. He ain't saying a damn thing for us. You know why he has to get his white people together? Because they demand it. I'm done.
My final thoughts is I want to put this up so I can answer your question. Monica Renee D. Brown, I watch you all sometimes, but what is your purpose and what do you do? Let me break it down for you, Charlotte. Whatever the fuck we do, it does not require us to punch a clock. Whatever the hell we do, we ain't standing by the mailbox waiting on no stimulus. So whatever we doing, you might want to do it too, homegirl. So if you ain't been watching, these are 2 beautiful independents, and I'm one crazy Black Republican that don't give a fuck, gonna say what I want, when I want, any chance I get. And guess what? It ain't a damn thing that you can do about it. And that's real. Say, man, Another spirited discussion from the best in the business. That's what we do. We bring the truth every night at 7 o'clock. I want to thank my good friend Donovan Sadiq, the Queen, Demetra K, and I am the 5-star general. I'm about to get me a fucking Budweiser. Wow. Until Monday, we'll holler at you.